on? What's going on, guys? What's going on? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to drboycetv.com and the Black Balls channel. That's theblackballschannel.com. That is a platform for Black males where Black men kind of share our ideas. And actually, though, today I have a special guest, Dr. Alicia. How you doing today, babe?
Hey, Boyce. I am so curious about what's on your mind today.
Yeah, well, you know what? I wanted to. You know what? I woke up this morning and I had a thought about T.I. and Tiny. I don't know why. I don't know why God told me to talk about this topic. I don't know why. Give me a yes or no if you can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, give me a yes or no. But yeah, I don't know why it came to mind, but when I have a thought, I want to just share it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm real curious what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So let me ask everybody. Give me a yes or no on this question. What's up, Janetta and Bridget and Ladrina? Are you all at least vaguely familiar with those unfortunate allegations against T.I. and Tiny, the stuff with sex trafficking and all this other stuff that's supposedly going on? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you are familiar with what's going on with T.I. and Tiny. And I want to make sure that we also begin the conversation by making it clear that we're not implying guilt, because I think that should be proven. And but you can't prove innocence. We just we believe in things like not guilty. Not guilty doesn't mean you're innocent. Doesn't mean you're guilty. It means you're not guilty. So right now, in my mind, T.I. and Tiny are not guilty of those accusations. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy. My latest understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that there's now going to be an investigation.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good thing. Like, that's what we want.
Yeah.
We live in America. There's a court of law. Let due process take its course. I like that. And I didn't know if you were commenting on that or you want to just comment on
I want to talk about the financial stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and I want to run this by you. And I literally, just so you guys know, I have not at all read this list to Alicia.
Yeah.
I woke up, the idea was there. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, your brain is just moving. And so these ideas are flowing through my brain. And a lot of people don't understand how, particularly when you're in a position like T.I. and Tiny, when you're a couple and first of all, a marriage and a family and a relationship isn't just a romantic entity. It is a legal contract. It is an economic entity, right? Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
Marriage is a contract.
It's an institution.
It's an institution. That's yes, right. Like a business. And so, a lot of times when you have a business, you got to protect the business. And I think that when you are in a position like a T.I. and Tiny, there's a lot at stake. Like when I saw T.I. and Tiny in Ghana. Tiny was with him. Their daughter was with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they were there, doing business. And I remember, in fact, there was a point where I think Tip got upset because some people were using his likeness without his permission. And I think they ended up, I don't know if they sent a cease and desist letter or just told somebody like, step off, stop it.
This was in Africa? People were doing that?
Yeah, all over the world. But Cardi B was there too. And so T.I. left our group for a little while to go hang out with Cardi B.
I bet she was way more interested
than Cardi B. I will give it to her. Cardi B is probably far more interesting than I will ever be. So yeah, but she was there performing in Ghana, and T.I. was with our group, and then him and Tiny left to go hang out with Cardi. But I remember there was a whole dust up about using his image. Using his image without his permission, which I agree with that. Like, but that's the thing, that's why like when you're in the position like they're in. Things happen that regular people just don't even get. Like, because I'm going to tell you, when I was there, they used the hell out of his image. They had his image on posters and shit where he wasn't even there.
Oh, so they're making money off of, they're capitalizing off of just his face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celebrity. Okay.
Absolutely. So anyway, with that said, there's a lot to think about. I think that couples like this have to process, but I think everybody can learn from this, because to me, this conversation isn't about T.I. and Tiny or about you and I. It's really about anybody listening in terms of understanding the economic dynamics that exist behind relationships.
Oh, okay. So I want to hear what you think.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
All right. So I'm gonna read some of this to you. I'm gonna read each point to you.
Okay.
Everybody, give me a yes or no in the chat if you can hear me. Okay. I'm switching to a different screen on my phone. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Also, if you could, please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button. We have something called the Black Love channel where Alicia and I do stuff where we do couples talk. Black love matters. Black women are amazing. I'm happy and proud to love a Black woman. I love the hell out of this woman. I want everybody to know about it. So I hope you will choose to follow the blacklovechannel.com. It's right there on your screen. Okay, so here are some financial thoughts, ugly financial implications that come when something like this happens, right? So think about this, right? So let's assume that T.I. and Tiny are innocent, right? Or haven't done anything, right? Because you're innocent.
Well, you have to be assumed that you're innocent.
There you go. Right? You're assumed innocent. Okay. Boom. There you go. So that's not a strange assumption. Right? I know that he's a black man and everybody want to assume that you're guilty till you prove yourself innocent.
Oh, the cancel culture.
Right. Yes. But that's not how the law is supposed to work. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So so if you assume that they are innocent at this point, here's what happens when something like this, goes down, when you just get an accusation. First of all, you got lawyers to pay. Lawyers are expensive as hell. I remember Will Smith did a video where he explained to his nephew what it's like to be famous. He said, I have 15 lawyers on retainer.
No.
Yeah, just because people will sue you for anything. People will sue you for anything. And that's the thing. This you can't tell me that at some point money isn't going to come up in the conversation, because whenever people make accusations, there's a line of people lined up to try to get paid. So that money makes you a target. So lawyers cost a lot of money. Even when you're fighting back, you're draining resources trying to fight back. And it's an unfortunate cost of doing business, but it's real.
Okay. So you have to have, no matter what happens, you need to have some retainer money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's almost like having your defense systems set up, like for military.
So the more famous you become, the more your retainer fee needs to be.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The more famous you become, like the worst position in the world to be in, I believe, would be to be famous without being rich. Because if you're famous, people think you're rich and they're gonna sue you like you're rich. And then if you can't really defend yourself, then you're gonna get your ass kicked.
And you're gonna go down.
Right, exactly. Oh. So, and here's the other thing, though. Even for regular people, though, if you get a divorce, things like that, like lawyers cost money. Then, so lawyers, they're out there. Second financial thought that I had about T.I. and Tiny is that once you get an accusation, this is something that's really unfair. I think accusations alone can kill your career, especially if you're a black man. It ain't got to be proven.
Now, see, I'm going to challenge you on that one.
Okay.
I think that there are things you can do, and maybe I can talk about that a little more in detail later. I think there are things you can do to rise above those accusations.
Okay.
That where, there's some really interesting strategies you could do and tactics that'll make people just forget all about it.
That's true. But you talking about the Jerry Seinfeld thing, how he handled the whole thing with Kramer.
Yeah, I mean, there's things you can do to preserve your name. There's ways that you can address it, and there's things that you can do.
But you think it works for Jerry Seinfeld? Do you think it will work? You think that will work if he was a black man, though?
It works. Let me tell you, it works no matter who you are. The formula is still the same. Okay. And maybe I'll talk about it some more, but I know there are ways that you can kind of rise above it. You don't want to you want to rise above that energy. And that is possible. And actually, first of all, to get an accusation like that means you slipping. You slipping because it's deep, because it's related to the things that you attract to yourself. It's related to some of the things. So what are you doing in your life to protect yourself? Like, the best offense is a good defense, so what are things you're doing that you're setting up for yourself that you focus on in your life? And this is, it's worked for me, and I've seen it work for other people, where there are some areas where you can protect yourself from this sort of thing.
Now I can see that, because T.I.'s a brilliant rapper, and he raps about coming out of the trap. And so if you're like shining and you're doing well, you got big money, you're on TV every day, but you're still in a trap-like environment with trap-minded people, you never know what's going to pop off. You never know what you're going to deal with, And I think you're right that some people, even when they're your friends, some people you got to almost avoid, like coronavirus, because just them, you got to socially distance yourself from those people, because they will just bring stuff into your space that, you can't deal with.
I think it's an opportunity to increase your energy, increase your vibration, so that, they don't even gonna want to be around you anymore. It's like when you change, you're supposed to change. You shouldn't be talking about the same things that you talked about 5 years ago. Like, your conversation should be changing, and it should be because you are changing on the inside. Like, you always have to be into your own personal growth. At least I am. So the things I talked about 3 years ago, I'm not even talking about it right now. You are hilarious. Anyway, I'm not talking about those things right now because I'm different. you know, and I'm moving, I'm trying to do my work, my personal work, to personally evolve so that I can be a better person. And that's how you rise above it. So hopefully T.I. and Tiny will see this experience and they will come on the other side stronger. I like to see them together stronger. I like to see them, hey, they got an alternative lifestyle and we're not going to judge all that, but at least somehow there was holes in their system. And from this experience, I'm hoping that they'll come out of it stronger and their holes would be kind of patched up and they could work on other things like that. But anyway, I don't want to take away from your thoughts though. But
no, that's a great point. And if you think that Alicia sounds like a relationship therapist, it's because she's licensed in this. So also she's an enthusiast of Black love, and I know I am too. And so, you know, we're rooting for him, you know. I mean, but then again, if there's accountability around the corner for something that happened that we don't know about, I mean, you can't knock that, right? So the third thing that I mentioned, everybody, if you could take 1 second, please hit the thumbs up button, please share, please subscribe. We're trying to build Black media. Y'all know all the negativity out in the world. We're trying to create some positivity, some intelligence, you know, over ignorance. So if we could really use your help. If you could take a second, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, maybe share this video, all those things. We would really appreciate it. All right. So the third thing is that the financial implication of what they're dealing with is that stuff like this can be very distracting and a huge time drain, because now you know, in addition to being toxic, right? Because you know they canceled T.I. from the new Ant-Man movie. They say he's not going to be in that, even though they weren't sure if he's going to be in it or not. But now they're sure he's not. They also did that show, The Family Hustle. I'm sure he lost some endorsements. I know when he got locked up, he lost some endorsements. Then he rapped about it, but then it's like now you're defending yourself, right? So you've got just this big distraction. You know, your lawyer's calling you like, oh, we need to have another meeting today. And you're like, but I'm trying to go out here and do stuff. But you can't. Because you mean with lawyers.
Yeah. It drains your resources, which is your time, your energy, your money. It's a pain in the ass. Oh, excuse my French. But it's a pain. It's a pain, and it's just going to be very uncomfortable right now for him. Yeah. But you know, at the same time, we don't. You know, I am going to assume that he's innocent. But you know, if he did do those things, like that's a terrible thing. You know, if he did, like that's something you need to pay for.
If it's true, it's a problem. And remember, from what I understand, the accusers, I think they're talking about like 30 people or something now. Now, of course, they all lined up behind a lawyer who's definitely going to be asking for money. But it almost sounds like they're going beyond money. Like they always ask for money, like no matter what. They're always like, well, give us a check for $10 million, you know. So that money part's always there. But then there's like, it almost seems like they're trying to make it criminal. And they're not really accusing just him. They're accusing both of them, from what I understand.
Both of them are going down. I mean, that is just awful.
Well, they're not going down. They're trying to bring them down.
They're trying to bring, well, they would if it. So, yeah, you have to have a lot of evidence. So they're collecting their evidence. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it is. Okay. It drains a lot. Yeah. And it's stressful. I'm sure just think, we're going to assume that they're innocent because we don't know otherwise. But just think how stressful that is.
Well, you got
every
kids.
day you're thinking about your children.
Yeah, your kids on the internet. They're reading about their parents. I mean,
your safety and security is all jeopardized.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I think it also lets people know, like, fame ain't everything it's cracked up to be. It's got a good side, but it's got a dark side.
But you know what? What's also could be good about this experience is that you're gonna now know who your real friends are.
That is true. That is true.
Know who your real friends are. You're gonna know who you need to ignore.
Yeah, they are going to definitely learn who their friends are.
Yeah, who's not answering their phones and who's reaching out for support. Like, I think that's so important. Like, you see somebody going through something tough, you don't know if it's true or not, unless they do know if it's true. You know, you don't know if it's true. You should be reaching out to your friends and say, hey, I'm here for you. I'm going to believe you. I'm going to believe you because I know you.
Yeah, Charles was mentioning that he said, I remember, Boyce, you're a fan of T.I. I sure am. I think he's a great rapper. And I don't know nothing about his music. I don't know nothing about his sex life. I ain't even, you know, I've never been around when another man was having sex.
It's not that, first of all.
That is not a part of my story at all. So
it's just none of my business. It's none of our business.
Right. I don't care. I just know he's brilliant. I got two favorite, two most talented rappers of all time to me, or Ice Cube, and who I became friends with, and T.I. And I became friends with both of them. I met them both for the first time in the same year. So that was really interesting to me. Now, but that does not mean that it carries beyond what you did on stage. At that point, you got to prove yourself. And so, like, Ice Cube had to prove to me that he was a great activist, that he was really committed to what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, like it was through many conversations we had that lasted 30 minutes. When we went to Atlanta, we went to Tariq Nasheed's thing. Me and Cube were talking, you know, and Tariq came up, and I didn't let anybody know I was talking, but we talked for a really long time that day. And I just listened, and I was like, okay, this guy is serious. He's smart. Yeah. He's really on his shit. You know, so just because you're famous doesn't mean I think you're smart. But he proved that to me, and I respect him for that. But yeah, I'm still a fan of T.I. I think T.I. is one of the, I mean, I think he's right up there with the Tupacs and the Jay-Z's and everybody else.
Yeah, his of course. Well, yeah, his music is solid. Okay, go on.
Okay, all right.
I'm not much of a.
Okay, so hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. We're going down a list of 5 ugly financial lessons that we can learn from like what they're dealing with, or financial implications of being a power couple.
So okay. The first one is lawyers are expensive.
Yes.
The second one is very difficult to come out of this.
Well, you become toxic, and you can't find work, especially when you're working around white people in Hollywood, because they quick to cancel a black man, especially a black man who ain't having sex with another dude. You know, like they'll. Oh,
he's very masculine.
Right, he's masculine. He does not give any gay vibes at all. Which means, but right there, that means you are already in jeopardy in Hollywood. we know what Hollywood is. Hollywood's like any man caught using his penis on a woman is the enemy. Like Hollywood got an agenda like the guy from Coming to America. You saw him in, not to say he's gay, but you saw him on RuPaul's show dressed like a.
I did not. Oh my God, that's very disappointing. Yeah. To see that. And you know, I mean, Coming to America is such a. Don't get me started with that film. Ever since I've watched it, I've been thinking about it, and it is so good on so many different levels now. It is such a great film. The first one and the second one. It's just, I'm just loving those 2 movies. Right, by the way,
they did a very good job, and even the people that I thought that would get on my nerves, like I thought Tracy Morgan, and I do not think Tracy Morgan's funny. I do not think that Leslie Jones lady's funny, but she was good in that movie.
She was funny in the movie.
She was good. She proved to me that she's talented. Tracy Morgan, I still don't know how he got his opportunity. I ain't gonna lie. Tracy Morgan does nothing for me. Now Leslie Jones, she stood out.
Yeah, and I just feel, and you know, the very first Coming to America, I mean, it was a hit, and you know, Eddie Murphy was sued.
Oh yeah, didn't somebody say that was my story?
Yeah, he was sued for that movie.
But did the person get any money?
I don't remember how it turned out, but he was sued for doing Coming to America 1.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you don't care.
Okay, continue.
I mean,
so
how many millions of Africans then came to America? Come on now, let's just give me a break. So but anyway, okay. So the third one was that when something like this happens, it's a big distraction, a big time drain. It makes it difficult for you to do other things, so you lose money that way.
Yeah.
The fourth reason that T.I. and Tiny are gonna, you know, people in their position would lose money when the situation goes down is that, you know, basically when you have money, you do just become a target. I kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier, but that's what it is. Like, just having money means lawyers look for, like when lawyers file lawsuits, they look for people anywhere in the area, anywhere that have anything to do with it, that they can just throw into the lawsuit because they might get paid. Like lawyers can smell money. Like lawyers are the ultimate gold diggers. I don't hate my lawyers. I like my lawyers that work for me, but they just know how to smell the money, and then they'll drop you in the middle of some bullshit, and then you have to pay money to get out of it.
Do you know that is so true? And you know, no one does that more than divorce lawyers. I have worked with couples in the past, and you know, who are going through a divorce, and maybe I'm like helping them with their children and helping them with that transition. And it just, I want to go see those lawyers and smack them in the face, because I'll sit down with the couple and I will come up with what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. Like I am like talking to them, and then they go see their lawyer, and next thing you know, everything is chaotic again. It's like these lawyers, and meanwhile, these lawyers are charging them. Oh, I'm charging you for this, charging you for your time, when we could just come up with a solution quick and easy. And then like lawyers like to get stuff started. And it just really bothers me, because I'm like, you're taking money away from their children and their family. And it's just a big drain. Yes, I agree with you about lawyers.
Yeah, I don't hate them. I mean,
the lawyers win. Hold on. You lose, your children lose, their family lose, and the lawyers win because they walk around with they walk away from the whole situation with a big stack of money in their pocket. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, well, you know, if you think of the bad lawyers as rats, and the good lawyers are your snakes, they go and kill your rats. So you need lawyers to fight lawyers, but it just makes, and then the legal bill comes in is massive. But I've worked with some good lawyers, Roderick Wimberly in Chicago, Nicole Compton, and I love them. I just have so much respect for them.
Oh, they're so great.
Yeah, so it's probably one of those things where I would probably hate them if they were like on the other side. But because we're on the same side, I'm like, thank you. All right. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and also don't forget to subscribe to the Black Love channel right there, and of course, or drboystv.com. We do a lot of good commentary. We believe in Black intelligence, stuff like that. So if you agree, we hope you will subscribe. All right. So number 5 is just something to know about relationships and the fact that this pressure, getting that kind of outside pressure can, it causes things like divorce. Divorce is very expensive. Actually, there is a $10 billion a year industry on divorces. Like there's a documentary on it called Divorce Corp, CORP.
Oh, we got to watch that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Well, it's where Dr. Drew explains how they make billions of dollars every year just waiting for people's relationships to mess up. Like there's people that just make money. They make money watching you create a messy life so they can come clean it up.
You know what? You gotta watch. There's a movie. It reminds me of a movie I saw. Oh my goodness! Now I don't remember. It's called A Love Story. It's with Adam Driver is in it.
Okay, I don't know who Adam Driver is.
He's a guy.
He sounds like a random white person.
He is, but he was in that show Girls on HBO. You ever watch that?
I don't watch shows called Girls. Clearly, it's not in my demographic. If it was called Dudes, then I might.
He's an excellent. He was on Star Wars. I'm not really a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
But he played who's Darth Vader?
He played Darth Vader?
And the young Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, when he was Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's him, Adam Driver. And he's in watch that movie. We gotta watch it. It is really when you want to talk about divorce, he's going through a divorce in the movie. So of course I'm watching it because I need to watch movies about couples and divorce.
Right.
And it was just so fascinating with the lawyers had a very intricate part in getting all that stuff going.
Did they really?
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Yeah. So did you know that the average divorced couple, both the husband and the wife lose 70% of their wealth in a divorce. Like divorce is a huge wealth killer. The things in relationships that are wealth killers are either becoming a divorcee or becoming a baby mama or a baby daddy.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, like Black women with kids with no husband have the lowest net worth of anybody in America. But the men are probably right there with them because if you got a bunch of kids with a bunch of women, they're going to drain the shit out of your check.
Let me tell you, shout out to Black women because we be holding that stuff together. We be making it happen.
Well, how about this? Shout out to Black families.
Yes,
because that's what it's all about. It ain't just about Black women or just about Black men. Right. It's about Black men and Black women working together. Like coming together is a safety strategy. Like there's a reason you form families, the reason you form animals form herds for protection. Yeah. Gangs, even being a gang affiliated is a way to protect yourself. You join a gang for protection. The police are a gang. The corporations are a gang. Like governments are a gang. Like basically people, all living creatures understand that you ain't supposed to be out here just by yourself.
I think that's what motivates me to do the work that I'm doing because when I work with couples, I look at their children, like I can see their children through the Zoom or whatever. And these are the most beautiful children I've ever seen. And if anything, I feel so privileged to be in a position to play a role in creating a positive home experience. We know that's the number one thing that will get a child to grow up and become successful individuals when they're older is having a really good nurturing home experience. And nothing does it more than to get somebody in there that can help the couple stay together and learn how to live together peacefully.
Yeah. Well, I think there should be, I would have no problem if they pass a law that said in order to even get married, you have to take a test. You have to take a driving test. Yeah, take a class and then take a test. Yeah, like it should be like the drive. I mean, because when you get into relationships and you don't know what the hell you're doing, and it is like driving a car with a blindfold on, like because you reckon your relationship and you reckon the lives of your damn children. Yeah. You're all these people that depend on your family as an institution. their lives are being disrupted. It's not just about two people going together. Like when you got kids and other people that are affected by this. Yeah.
I mean, deeply affected, but they could carry that with them for the rest of their life. So it's not an easy decision to get a divorce. You have to take all of that into consideration and weigh the pros and cons. It's a very draining. Well, that's just everything. Your 5 points here.
Yeah.
The lawyers, what you lose, the time and energy. It'd be so much better if just you and your husband and wife just get along.
Yeah.
And you know what it is in moments of conflict. Like, it's easy to get along when things are going well, but when you have like moments of disagreement, just be kind and gentle to each other.
Well, I imagine we started talking about T.I. and Tiny.
Yeah.
I would imagine definitely when you have like this kind of external pressure.
Oh.
I mean, you think about this, you already have the complexities of just being in a relationship, right? And then it's like, how do you fight the world? And then if you're fighting each other, right, you at least have to find a way to create a unified front to be able to take on like all this chaos, So
their love is tested. That marriage is tested by this. Any sort of adverse experience is going to test you. And I'm hoping that they're innocent. I'm hoping that we now see that they're innocent, and then on the other side of this, they're going to be like lock solid.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Well, let me just say this. If you guys want practical advice, I would give. And by the way, if you could, please hit the thumbs up button real quick. Please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button. And we were talking about T.I. and Tiny, but also, of course, you know how we do. I want everything to benefit you. I'm not really, thinking so much about what celebrities do, but I do think this is something that we all observe. We're all talking about it, so we might as well learn from it. So with T.I. and Tiny, again, we reiterate, innocent until proven guilty. I don't, whatever the allegation is, you need to prove it. If you can't prove it, then we're sorry. Nobody, people shouldn't be able to help you at that point because you need to be able to prove things, police reports, all this stuff, right? But the other part too is, if you're interested in things like economic survival, I actually have something I put together called Economic Survival Plan. The URL is right there on the screen. It's economicsurvivalplan.com. So feel free to go take a look at that and see if that's something that interests you. We created in the Black Business School. But let me give I'll give a closing thought on the T.I. Tiny thing from a financial standpoint. Here's what I'm really seeing when I think about Tip and his wife, and I say this with all due respect, and without even knowing what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing in their life. I know Killer Mike really well. I know David Banner really well. I know they know T.I. really well. I do not know T.I. very well. So I only know him through transitivity. But what I will say is, if you're a straight Black male, I don't think that you're going to fit very long in white society. I really don't believe that. I think that particularly coming out of hip hop, because hip hop is identified as ground zero for that Me Too movement, toxic masculinity. And the worst part about it is that sometimes they're right. The way the music, and Black people didn't do this. The music got all fucked up back in the 90s. And we didn't do this. It was the people who ran these damn record labels who will pay people to call you the N-word all day long. You say something about Jews, that you get taken off the air like that. But for some reason, they've become completely fine with calling us all kinds of names, calling Black women all kinds of names or whatever. And then we're complicit in that. We think that's okay. We have no problem with that. So we're co-signing on them, which makes us look crazy, because then you're going to turn around and get mad because a white man called you the N-word, but you've been calling yourself the N-word every day. You call your Black man, you call the Black person the N-word. So why would you get mad when other people do it? But the other point is, like, so I don't think T.I. is a fit for mainstream. I was surprised he was able to be so mainstream for so long. I think now it's time to kind of close ranks. Like, I think that when he talks about how he gets his money, he needs to be doing that Black-owned stuff, because I think the Black community has a lot more tolerance for T.I., Tiny, whatever the case may be, than white folks do. White folks will cancel your ass in a minute, do a Bill Cosby on you, like what they did even with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was America's favorite white boy, and they body slammed his ass, right? So my thought is that with T.I., I think he should close ranks in terms of how he makes his money. That means making money through your stock investments, making money through your real estate, making money through your Black-owned businesses, maybe some crypto, things like that. If you're doing music, you own a record label, whatever it is you want to do. If you tech incubators, they got all kinds of stuff going on in Atlanta where you can lend your brand to a tech incubator or to startup and turn that into some money. But you got to do it in a way that's safe. You got to get away from, like, to hell with Hollywood, forget corporate America. I don't think there's any place in those spaces for Black men, not Black men who have authenticity or love for the Black community. So it is what it is. All right.
You know what? There's an interesting conversation going on in the chat, and I'm not quite
What are they
understanding.
saying?
There's something about what is going on?
Single moms in the U.S. are the worst ever. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Focus. We gotta focus.
All right, I'm sorry.
Don't let because we see y'all in the chat, but in the chat there's like a 10% chance that the person who made the last comment is crazy and stupid.
It's like a back and forth.
Most of y'all ain't crazy and stupid. Most of y'all ain't crazy and stupid, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, there's always somebody in there that's just on some BS. And
thank you, boys.
We gotta stay focused. Yeah, okay. Like I'm helping you with this internet thing. Believe me, the internet's like at least 10% crazy people. So
then
maybe about 20% Negro naysayers, right? The Negro naysayers who hate everything, hate everybody, mad about everything, think you just full of crap, whatever. Well, so I love them all, but I know how to, you gotta know how to deal with that jungle. That's my version of the digital trap. T.I. came out of the trap. I live in the digital trap where I'm dealing with all kinds of people that just, are crazy as hell.
Thank you for taking me with you to the trap and protecting me. I feel like you're so protective of me.
Well, I love you. I got your back
too. And Black men are the best people in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I see that.
No, I'm talking about Black American men. Black American men. Like I like my brothers overseas. They're good too, but it's something about the swag of a Black American man, African American man. They just like, that's it. And you definitely represent all of that.
Well, thank you. I proudly carry my nerd swag. I met her in the library, so that tells you a lot right there. Yeah, I didn't.
We were in the library on a Sunday. Like, who does that?
Yeah, Sunday night. Yep, I remember that. Yep, I just went to the Pizza Hut and I saw you. And but that's what it is. Like, if you want to, whatever kind of person you want to meet them in the place that identifies what kind of person you are. Like, if you're not a club person, don't go meet somebody in the club because you don't want them dragging you to the club every week for the rest of your life.
What do you mean? You met me in the club. You know that's where I like to go.
Right. I met you in the library. You've been dragging me to the library ever since, but you ain't got to drag me because I go to the library too.
We do we got virtual libraries. We do spend a lot of time.
Well, we sit in our desk and do nerdy stuff. You're a professor and so am I. I didn't even know you were going to get a PhD when I met you. We were like way far away. You were 19.
We sure were. Maybe you inspired me even back then. Weren't you in a PhD program?
You think I inspired you?
Maybe you did. Well, probably my dad inspired me because he already had a PhD.
It's probably your dad. But I give it. But you know what? The thing was that your dad, by the fact that your dad was a professor, you thought being a professor as a Black man was a good thing. Whereas if your dad had been a thug, you would have maybe not liked me because there are women I've met women who think that being a professor is corny, right? They want a thug, right? And that's just what it is. So I had dealt with that. So I'm actually appreciative of your father for being the man that he was, because that opened the door for you to receive the man that I was.
Well, we're just made for each other.
I think so.
Maybe we're just destined.
That's right. God damn it. Anyway. All right, guys. We're about to get out of here. So hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button if you could before you go. There's the URL, Economic Survival Plan, if you want to go take a look. It's a full program on the rules of economic self-defense and creating financial security, stuff like that. So feel free to go take a look. And again, with T.I. and Tiny, the conclusion is innocent till proven guilty. I wish them the best. And I hope you guys learned something from the discussion. So take care. Have a good day. And thank you for listening. We'll see you soon. Peace.